My name is Scott Statson. I am a recruiting industry veteran, and I want to cover a topic that I think holds us back from doing things, from being successful, from taking risks, from really accomplishing our goals, our interests, and I think this also holds us from a lot of things. Adventure, it holds us from really feeling accomplished, and it is fear. We're afraid of things. I know personally, I think I want to live, let me back up just a little here. I think at the end of our life, this is Scott talking. At the end of our life, I don't think we'll regret what we did, even though there are those. I think we'll regret what we didn't do. We should have done this. I should have done this, or I should have gone here, or I should have did this. And oftentimes it's that fear that I think holds us back from doing those things or going to those places or talking to these people. And why are we afraid? It just stifles growth. It stifles career. It stifles relationships. It stifles enjoyment. And we're often afraid of things that we don't know. Because here's the truth. Like, we're afraid of the dark, okay? We're afraid of the dark because we don't know what's in there. Now, and this is politically incorrect, but I don't care. I was a hunter for many, many years. And typical, who likes going out in the dark? But I got used to the dark. When you go hunting, you go early in, late out. So it's dark when you're heading in. It's dark when you're leaving. And I got used to walking through the woods. And this was bow hunting season, so there weren't a lot of hunters in the woods. You could walk, turn your light on and off, let people know you're there, but your eyes got used to the dark. It wasn't a fearful place anymore. For me, I got used to it and realized I really don't need my flashlight. I use my flashlight for big obstacles or to notify people that I'm here, and not to scare or startle other people. But once you're in the dark, it's not a scary place. Like, I'm the scariest person out there in the dark. Like, the animals are afraid of me. Okay. I don't have anything to be afraid of. The one thing I am afraid of, here's one thing and I don't know if I'm afraid of them. I just don't like them. Spiders. Like, blah. Do not like spiders. I don't like spiders. I'm afraid of them. They're just, I don't know. They're disgusting. If you like spiders, I'm sorry. And if I step on spiders, I'm sorry. Not sorry. But one thing that I think I have overcome personally, I've always had a fear of heights. I still have a fear of heights, but I ended up needing to get at big heights. So, and this is a whole new podcast episode, but I built myself a house. I built a cabin. I wanted to overcome I wanted to do something that people said I couldn't do. And I built a house. I built a cabin. But part of that was building the roof. And this place that I built, it was essentially a small little, it's a shed, not really a cabin, and I'll do an episode on that. But the roof was 27 feet, 28 feet tall at the top of the peak. And I wanted to do the entire cabin. I wanted to dig the foundation. I wanted to overcome that obstacle that I couldn't do something. And I knew I could. I always say that big things are like eating the elephant. It's one bite at a time. And the cabin was that way. One shovel at a time. That's all I did. I dug the foundation. I mixed the cement. I mean, I put it all together. I planned it. I put the architecture together for this. I used ideas from other people, but I put it all together myself and built the whole thing myself. One shovel at a time, one screw and nail at a time, one board at a time. And I built this. So during this process, and the cabin's a whole new episode. During this process, I had to put the roof on. I had to put the roof over top of the peak. I had to do the trim work. And it was scary, like 28 feet, 20 some feet in the air. For someone that didn't like standing on a step ladder, I got real comfortable with it. And I got comfortable with it because from frequency, from having to do it. Like there were times I was like freaked out on climbing on the roof, being up on the roof, screwing, like not only did I have to go up there, but I had to carry building materials up there. I had to carry plywood up there. I had to carry metal roofing. I had to carry trim up there. And I had to carry this stuff at a steep pitch on this roof. And I got used to it, but I got used to it because I got comfortable with it, but I also knew what my limitations were, meaning I built safety rails into things and did things, and I secured my ladder so it wouldn't slip and it would be tied down and secure. So I faced my fear slowly out of necessity, really, because I didn't want to hire someone to do this. I wanted to do everything myself. So whether that was smart or not smart, but I faced my fear of heights. Now, I still don't like heights. I freak out with heights. I remember going in a balloon ride years ago, and it was in Southern California, the Great Park. So the balloon is tied to the ground, essentially. It's not going to take off. It's up so many feet. It's high for me. And I was freaked out. I'm in the basket, and this is a big metal structure that you're in. But I remember freaked out, just couldn't wait till that thing got down to the ground. Now, if I did that today, would I freak out as much? I don't know. Probably. I'm not going to do it, though, because I don't enjoy it. Like when I did my roof, when I climbed that ladder, when I climb ladders, I put everything in place. I face that fear, but I face it with purpose, with direction. And I'm not afraid of it anymore. I'm not afraid to climb up on the roof and do these things and go do whatever. And now I'm more comfortable with that than I ever thought I'd ever be. And this is not about me telling you how great I am. I've faced fears, and I realize fears have held me back from doing things. Just the fact, first of all, addressing the fact that you have the fear is important. Like, I'm afraid of this, but I shouldn't be afraid of this. Like, it's holding me back from doing things. I've got a fear of whatever, talking to people or meeting people or odd conversations, whatever that is, whatever your fear is. Sometimes it's keeping us safe. Like the fear of heights is keeping me safe, was keeping me safe, still keeps me safe, keeps me on my toes. I don't jump off roofs. But it also was overly so. Like I had too much of a fear, and I shouldn't have been that fearful. It shouldn't be fearful of a stepladder. Okay. And I was fearful of all that. I was painfully afraid of heights. And sometimes I think our fears develop into more of those things where we give in to the fear, where we let the fear control us. And I think that's wrong. I don't want to be controlled. First of all, I'm too independent. I don't want to be controlled by anybody. But when you face the fear, when you realize I'm afraid of this, or I have a fear of this, and now I need to figure out how to address it. How do I address this? Because there's a lot of negative consequences about giving into fear. And just addressing them and realize just confronting your fear can give you a lot of confidence. You can be confident in the fact that I'm afraid of this, but I don't have to be afraid of it. I shouldn't be afraid of it. My fear of spiders. I don't want to give into that. Like, I don't need to see a spider. Okay. I don't need to touch a spider. I don't want to see a spider. Like, I'll let the spider have their way. And I don't really, it doesn't take up time in my day. That doesn't suck me away from doing things. Like, I'm not afraid to go out in the desert because I'm afraid of spiders. I'll just deal with it. Like, I'm not going to go looking for them. I'm not going to pet them. I'm going to avoid them. But I'm not in the phobia stage where I won't go in the desert because there's a spider or whatever. I just recognize, okay, there could be a spider here. I need to be cognizant of the fact that I don't want to be face to face with the spider, like a Home Alone type scene where I'm screaming and yelling, because I probably would scream and yell. But I think if you face your fear, if you deal with your fear, you can have this, you could overcome your fear. It's 100% possible. If I can climb a ladder, okay, you can face your fear. Now, your fear may be more in depth or more difficult, but there's really a lot of, you gain a lot of confidence in dealing with your fear. And it's, don't give into your fear. Don't walk away. I mean, and there's quotes out there that, for example, there's a quote that says, fear is nothing more than a state of mind. I think that's true. You talk yourself into that fear. You talk yourself and then you give in to that fear. It's a state of mind. You can change your state of mind. You can discover that I don't have to be afraid of this. I do not want this to take over. I want to control. I don't want to give in to whatever it is. Facing your fear will gain you strength. It'll gain you confidence. And you need to stop. Sometimes you need to stop. I had to stop and face my fear right in the face. Now, I was sweating at the time when I was climbing the ladder. When I'm way up there, I'm focused, a little freaked out, but okay, I'm going to do it again. I'm going to do it again. I'm going to do it again. And now I wouldn't think twice about doing it. Like, I'd be a little bit freaked out. I wouldn't look down or wouldn't do this, but the fear wouldn't hold me back from doing things or repairing something on the roof or whatever, or building another house. I wouldn't be afraid of that. Now, I'm not this guy on the roof putting the guys that you see doing roofing that are just standing, running around, jumping around. Yeah, I'm still not that comfortable. Like, I build safety nets into what I do. But you can face your fear. Do not give in to your fear. Control your fear, because it's a state of mind. You can accomplish anything you want to. Don't let somebody or something hold you back from accomplishing whatever goals you want to. Our biggest limiting factor is really ourselves. And if we face these details and confront our fears, we can overcome anything. You can too. You can do this.